You need to smell.
Did you know that the Incas were from Peru? Today I'm going to inform you about the interesting facts you may not know about Peru. Peru is the largest country in South America, and it is approximately 3 times the size of California. Peru is the 5th most populous country in Latin America. According to the U.S. Department of State, the population of Peru in 2011 was 28 million people. The current president is Ollanta Humala. Presidents serve a 5-year term. The government is a type of constitutional republic. The nationality is Peruvian, and the main religion is Roman Catholic. Spanish is the principal language. The U.S. investment in tourism in Peru has grown largely in recent years. The U.S. remains Peru's #1 trade partner, according to Peru and the U.S. Most citizens from Americas and Western Europe do not need a visa to enter the country. Now I will touch on some interesting history of Peru. The Incas, sometimes called the people of the sun, were originally a warlike tribe living in the semi-arid region of the southern Sierra. From the years 1100 to 1300 AD, the Inca moved into the Cusco Valley. This is a picture of the Cusco Valley. The vast empire was a theocracy, organized along socialistic lines and ruled by an Inca ruler, or emperor, who they worshipped as a divinity. A fun fact about the Incas was that they were not considered married unless they exchanged sandals with each other. The realm became a target of the Spanish imperials in the early 16th century. Because they possessed extensive deposits of gold and silver, when the Spanish arrived in Peru in 1531, the territory was the center of the Incan civilization. At that time, the Incan Empire was the largest in the world. In search of Incan wealth, the Spanish conqueror Francisco Pizarro arrived at the area after the Incas had just fought a debilitating civil war, and he conquered the weakened people with little effort. The Spanish captured the Incan capital at Cusco by 1533 and had complete control by 1542. The actual body of the Spanish conquistador, Pizarro, is buried in a glass tomb in the city of Lima, where people can visit and look at him. He lies in a glass casket so everyone can see. The gold and silver of the Andes Mountains made the conquerors wealthy, and Peru became the main source of Spanish wealth and power in South America. In November of 1995, anthropologists announced the discovery of the 500-year-old remains of the 2 Incan women and 1 Incan man frozen in the Andes. Scientists concluded that the trio were part of a human sacrifice ritual on Mount Ampado, a sacred peak in the Andes Mountains. Artifacts from the find brought to light new information about the Inca that indicated the use of poles and tents rather than stone and blocks for structures. The arrangement of the doll-sized statues dressed in feathers and the wool that gave insight regarding to the religious sacrificing rituals. Since the Incas had no system of writing, they kept records by means of a quipu, and this is a picture of that. There are strings that hang at different intervals and varying colors to record populations, tribes, troops, legends, and achievements of the Incan people. Moving on to tourism, in Peru it is a paradise full of wonderful places for touring. This is a picture of Machu Picchu, one of the most popular places to visit. In Peru there are 28 climates, and the ancient Inca citadel of Machu Picchu is the star attraction. The Nazca lines are also a big attraction in Peru. People come from all over the world to see and study the lines. The Nazca culture believed that it was believed that they were incapable of manned flight although some of the lines are 400 miles wide and 400 miles high on the sides of the Andes Mountains. Most of these images are only visible from high above the ground, which leads to the question of how they were crafted. Who crafted such the drawings, and and what technology was used, and what was the purpose of the lines? There are many theories regarding these lines, the etchings and the mysterious etchings and how they were arranged. Some of the theories that people believe are they were landing strips for aliens, a giant seismograph, or the most probable theory is that of Maria Ricci, a German researcher who dedicated her life to studying the lines. According to Mrs. Ricci, the lines were part of an astronomical calendar to mark different solar phases, but it is still unknown exactly how they placed them so perfectly. Last but not least, these are some interesting facts about Peru. Peru has the highest number of bird species in the world. There are 1,701 species of birds, most out of any country in the world, according to BirdLife International. The finest cottons in the world come from Peru, also the trees that produce the dyes and cotton. A weeping willow from Peru produces the base to make something as simple as aspirin. People all over the world use aspirin, and this is where it comes from. The Peruvian maca root is what they use to make Viagra from, and it has been around for hundreds of years. According to the food connoisseurs of the world, the Peruvian cuisine is not only the best cuisine in Latin America, but it is amongst the best in the world. Peru is also the biggest producer of gold and zinc and